Hi friends, it's been way too long since I've talked with you, but to kind of jump back into the swing of things, I'm coming at you with a book recommendation video that matches how we feel outside. Outside, maybe where you are. It's Florida where I am, so it's still like 75 and 80 and hot. But where you are, it's probably a little chilly, if not cold. I'm getting that sweater. I have 3 sweaters. I was able to wear one of them the other day, and that was so fun for me. When it's cold outside, chilly, not warm, I want to read a book that kind of matches that vibe. I don't want to read a summer book when it's cold outside. Like it just goes against the grain. It just doesn't feel right. But when it's cold outside, these books match that vibe. First one, I'm just gonna grab and pull. First one, The Silent Woods by Kimmy Cunningham Grant. This book made me cry, and I wasn't expecting it. We're just following a dad and his daughter that live out in a remote space, and they're on the run, and we don't know why. And every year the dad's friend comes and brings them supplies, and this year he doesn't show up, and that's when we start figuring out why they're out there, who they're running from, what's going on. There's a creepy neighbor that's always like checking in on them, and we're just trying to figure out what it is, but it's secluded. Some eerie things happen, but this is not spooky. It's such a good read, and it pulls at your heartstrings, and you're not expecting it. So first one, that was a good one. That's my next one. Of course, One by One by Ruth Ware. This is set in a remote ski resort. We're following this group of employees who work together, and they're on a retreat, and they're just going over the numbers and figuring out how they can become better bonded as one, the team building exercise or whatever. And then they start to die. We gotta figure out who's killing them at this ski resort, why, and why they can't leave. Really cold in here. It's a good winter read. The next one would be Dead of Winter by Darcy Coates. If you've ever read a Darcy Coates, I don't think I have to go into a big explanation of what goes on in a Darcy Coates. It's a horror book. It does have haunted houses and some eerie ghosts, and obviously we are set in the winter, so the vibes in this really do match the outside. But without jumping in and giving spoilers, it's just a really great eerie read if you're into that kind of thing, if you're wanting that spookish thrill, but you don't necessarily want it to be super scary. I've never been scared by a Darcy Coates, but I've been spooked a little bit, if you catch that difference. So can't get into too much of it. It really does give a lot of it away. But the back of it does say, so I can say this, 8 strangers, 1 killer. A really good one, especially in the cold. Our next one that we have is The Manor House by Gilly Macmillan. This doesn't necessarily feel cold inside with weather, but the story just goes great with the winter. You have this couple, and they're totally great together, and then they win the lottery, and they get a smart house, and they get these expensive hobbies, and they get this expensive house, and all of those things. And then the husband is found dead in the pool. And so now the smart house is starting to not work for the wife like it did for the husband, and there are these weird people that come in and try to infiltrate, and you're just trying to figure out why is this house not doing what I need it to do. Anything that's like technology based, I just feel like it's winter-ish. even though it's not set in winter. But this came out in November, so it's a newer release. It should be out where you get your books. Hopefully it's the library, and you probably hear my dog. I'm so sorry. The next one is Murder on the Christmas Express by Alexandra Benedict. I don't think I need to go into too much explanation of why this is on my cold vibe list, but this one here, they get on the train. Passengers who sleep on this train may never wake up. So it kind of gives an Agatha Christie kind of feel, but it's very modern and it's updated. It's a really great read for this time of year, and you can get through it fairly quickly. Oh, this next one, literally you can just get a cup of coffee, sit down for a few hours and read it. It's The Christmas Guest by Peter Swanson. Look at this thing. It's like 100 pages max. I read it in a sitting. It was so twisty. I believe this is a really great novella. If this had been a longer book or like a normal size book, I don't think it would have worked. It would have gone on too long. You just have two friends. One is they're both in London, they're at school. One is American who is studying abroad, and one lives there. And the American doesn't have a great relationship with her mom. And so the Londoner asked the American if she wants to come with her to her manor and spend Christmas with her family. It's this very large manor, and the American gets super excited, gets to go spend time with this rich manor. When they get there, it's like creepy and cold, and the American pushes through. She's just excited to be there. It's told through journal entry as well as just a story. So you're getting both sides. And when you get to the end, the twist, I expect it in a longer book, but I didn't expect it here, and I didn't expect it to work. And both did. There may be a romance. I don't know. But it's twisty. It's worth it. The next one that I have for you is The Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay. These two husbands and their daughter go out to stay at a vacation cabin. It's super remote, and they're cut off from phones. They may have a TV, but they're just there to reconnect all together. And so while they're there, a stranger appears in the yard and starts to play with their kid. And they don't know it. They're inside. And then more strangers start to appear and try to infiltrate the house and give them an ultimatum, basically. It is very apocalyptic feeling. And when I think about that, I think about cold. So I think this is a great read for this time of year. Next we have Shiver by Ali Reynolds. This was a fun one for me. I read this for a book club pick a while ago. It was a really great book club pick because there was a lot to talk about. It is more of a locked room mystery. Obviously you have the cold going on, so it's great for this time of year. But it's a reunion that obviously goes wrong. So again, like this group of friends go up to this secluded ski resort, and there's already a game set up for them, and they think, oh, well, this friend set it up or this friend set it up, and obviously none of them actually set it up. And they start to play the game. A lot of secrets come out. Someone ends up disappearing from their friend group, and they all start to blame each other, and they can't figure out who it is. They can't figure it out where their friend went. None of the technology is working. None of the ski lifts are working. It's too dangerous for them to go down. They're stuck there with a killer. The way that this ends, I still think about it sometimes. I haven't really seen an ending like it before. It's a good ending. It was a good book club pick. The next one that I have for you, a lot of people don't like this one, and I get why. It can be dense. but if you can get through it, it's actually really fun. And that's Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone by Benjamin Stevenson. This is the most meta, self-aware book I've ever read in my entire life. It literally gives rules at the very beginning. It tells you to bookmark the page, gives you rules about how crime novels are supposed to be written, and it references that page. Like, it tells you on page 256 you will see this, and it references that page back and forth. It's so fun. So basically we are at a ski resort with the family. It's not super remote or cut off, but we do have this brother that just got out of jail, and they're all kind of coming together for a reunion. And we have the one guy that's just kind of cut off from the family, but when he says everyone in my family has killed someone, he tells you the story about somehow, some way, everyone in his family has killed someone, whether it be intentional, whether it not be intentional, but now someone else is dead, and you gotta figure out who it is. This can get kind of dense. It is written by like a technical writer. However, it's worth it. It's a good one. I recommend it every time. He's about to come out with another one. I hope to read it fairly soon. Then we have Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. I don't think I could go without pointing this one out. To me, this is one of her best ones, is Rock, Paper, Scissors. You have Mr. and Mrs. Wright, who go out and their marriage is not doing too hot, so they decide to go out on a vacation together in the secluded church. And she won a vacation out there to the secluded church turned into a hotel. But when they're there, like, everything's kind of locked, and everything kind of disappears, and footprints are everywhere, and they start to hear things down in the cellar, and they can't figure out what's going on. It's also written in every other chapter is a letter format, so it's told by their anniversary and by letters. So it's a really cool way that this was written. The twist, oh my god, the twist. It is set in the cold and the snow, so it's a really good vibey read if you're wanting to match the outside. Maybe you already have snow. So the twist in this, if you haven't read this, I pick it up next. I highly suggest it. So I think I said 12. I believe this was 10. I, truth be told, didn't count. I just kind of eyeballed it, so my bad. But these are the reads that I suggest, maybe part one, that I suggest if it's cold outside and you want to match the vibe with your book, pick up one of these. Let me know down in the comments if you've read one of these before, or which ones I should add to a list, your opinions about these. Just tell me everything that you think down below. I want to have some really good conversations. Recommend me something for when it's cold outside too. I need those recommendations. But thank you for watching, if you even made it this far. It's really good to be back on YouTube, and I'm super excited to film some more for you all. So I will see you soon.